We're in Bogota, Colombia. While we're in Bogota, we're going to show you some museums, we're going to show you the city, some of the street vendors, street food, as well as just the local food. And there's a lot to do here, and it's very affordable. The US dollar and the euro are very strong to the Colombian peso, so your money goes a long ways here, and it's just a fabulous city. The city has a rundown feel in some areas, but don't let that sway you from coming here. There's just truly so much to see at such an affordable price. The one thing you'll need to know though is it's 8,660 feet above sea level. And what that means is you'll want to bring a coat, because while you're close to the equator, high up in the mountains, you lose 3.6 degrees for every 1,000 feet you go up. So at 8,600 feet, you can imagine it's a lot cooler here. Right now, I'm one of the only ones I can see with a short sleeve shirt, and that's just because I'm not from here. Most everybody's wearing long sleeve shirts here. I started off the day with a coat, and I've had to put it on and off throughout the day. You typically won't find air conditioners here, and you typically won't find heaters here because you kind of don't need them. It's in that middle range. So it's a very comfortable city to be in. So I hope you enjoy our time in Bogota. Our friend Darwin just made us this great coffee, and this is a great place to stop. Mistral Cafe, and it's right in the middle of town. There's a lot of little street food in the area. He has a ton of Colombian coffee that is quintessential Colombia and Bogota. To put in perspective what things cost here in Colombia, you can get an ice cream cone for 1,000 Colombian pesos. And if we convert that to US dollars right now, on today, that's 33 cents. We're at the Museo Nacional, the National Museum of Colombia. Let's go check it out.
The Museo Nacional is the oldest museum in Colombia, but it hasn't always been a museum. The building was constructed in the 19th century, and although now it cages priceless works of art, it actually served as a prison until 1946. The vast collection of the museum is spread across 17 galleries, which are in various stages of renovation. You'll want to block off a good chunk of time if you want to explore all the various paintings, sculptures, and historical artifacts this place has to offer. Nearly every style of Colombian art and history is touched upon here. If you don't read Spanish very well, you'll want to have a translation app handy, as English descriptions here are few and far between. If you're at all familiar with the Colombian art, you'll recognize the works of many of the masters here, such as Fernando Botero and Deborah Arango. Even if you're not familiar with the works of this region, the building itself is fascinating to walk around, as you can still see remnants of its time as a prison, and many of the former cells now house beautiful displays.
Throughout Bogota, you'll find tons of street art, and it's almost become a thing here with the graffiti and the street art. It's down through all the alleys, on the sides of some of these large buildings. It's actually pretty good. food is incredibly priced in Bogota, or throughout all of Colombia for that matter. This meal was 22,500 Colombian pesos. And while that sounds like a ton of money, in today's dollar, it's $7.35 and includes 3 kinds of meat, fries, this cheese, a salad, and a lemonade.
Even quiet games like chess become an active spectator sport on the lively streets of Bogota.
Okay, anybody who knows me knows that this is the kind of stuff I like. We're at the Planetarium in Bogota.
The Planetarium of Bogota is part of the city's cultural center and contains within its walls a conference auditorium, a public library, and a space museum. The current space has undergone a number of renovations since it first opened its doors in 1969. Its most recent renovation in 2011 included enhanced projection and the addition of the Interactive Space Museum, which is a major draw. The building's gift shop is a fantastic place to pick up a souvenir for the science lover in your life, or maybe just pick up a warm hat if you didn't pack well enough for the altitude.
We're in the Paloquemao Market, and there are vegetables and fruits everywhere. I mean, this is the largest produce market I have ever seen. It goes just hundreds of feet that way and hundreds of feet this way. Bananas. They have this corn everywhere here, and the kernels are just huge. It's the biggest kernels I've ever seen on corn.
The market shares a name with the neighborhood that surrounds it, but according to their website, their reach goes even further as they claim to contain all of Colombia in one single place. The immense variety here certainly seems to make good on that boast. Everyone we met here was incredibly friendly. Since the market is comprised of several different independent vendors, you get a sense that everyone really cares about their work and their product.
So we're still at this food market, and we thought we would get some food since all the produce is here. This is about as fresh as you can get. And this is the carne asada. Muchas gracias.
This is a great place to get fresh produce and experience some new flavors that you might not be able to easily find back in the States.
A chirimoya. Oh, wow. Oh, it's very sweet. Man, I've never seen this before. That's delicious. This is a mango stino. First bite. Have not tried this yet. It's worth coming down here just for the fruit. I'm at Mistral Cafe, and this is a bakery. They have eggs. They have these banana muffins that are awesome. But they have a lot of breakfast choices, and they have lunch choices as well. This is where I've been having breakfast every morning here in Bogota, and it's my go-to right now for breakfast. It's just an awesome place. The food is awesome, and the staff is amazing as well.
Bogota is full of life and excitement, but sometimes it's nice to escape the streets and find a place where you can set your own rhythm. Mistral Cafe is a perfect place to calmly relax and take your time with breakfast or brunch. The coffee, baked goods, and food all have an artisan flair, and the numerous windows invite you in with plenty of sunlight. And if you're the sort of traveler who wants to be outside as much as possible, then their open-air terrace is a great place to sit and people watch.
As you can see, this is why I've been coming here every morning for breakfast. The food is amazing. It's authentic, and the cream for the coffee is so thick. And spoon it out, it's so thick. We're at the Usaquen Flea Market here in Bogota. Let's go have a look. This is a Colombian version similar to Bailey's. It's a cream whiskey, very good.
The Usaquen Market comes alive every Sunday and hits its peak in the early afternoon. Of course, the primary attraction here is shopping, and this market has a wide selection to choose from. Because of all the options, you're sure to find a unique souvenir with a lot more traditional flavor than the more common touristy keepsakes. Most of the wares here are handmade by the vendors who sell them, so this is a great opportunity to help support the entrepreneurial spirit of Bogota. If you're the sort of person who builds up an appetite shopping, then this is the place to be. There's plenty of food vendors here who know you'll be hooked after sampling some of their delish options. Since the vendors here are so connected to their products, they're happy to answer any questions you might have. You might even pick up a unique story or two to share with your friends. This is also a great place to run into some street musicians who help provide the bustling market with a steady beat. And because you can never have enough Colombian coffee, it's also a great place to grab another cup of joe.
I just got a cup of coffee from Sulay and Nadit here in the flea market here in Bogota, and it is exceptional. You have to come here and get coffee from these two lovely ladies. And we're still at the Usaquen Flea Market, and I've got my coffee, and of course I've bought some bags of coffee. There's a lot of deals to be had here, and of course it's a flea market, so everything's negotiable. But there's a lot of, this is actually a higher quality flea market than I've been to in most countries. So there's a lot of really nice things you can take home with you. I'm getting ready to try a Chilean empanada from Felipe and Pedro here in the flea market here in Bogota. Wow. With wine too. This is, you have to come here. You could easily come here, be able to buy some stuff throughout the village, as well as eat and have a great day. While walking through Usaquen Flea Market, we got hungry and ran across this pizza place, so we had to order some pizza. And this pizza is fabulous looking, so now it's time for the test, the actual taste. Pizza's pretty much good in every country. So this is Sunday, and we were on these same streets yesterday, and none of this was as lively as it is today. There's people, there's street vendors, there's street performers, as you can hear the music in the background. There's people selling clothes and just all these trinkets and stuff. There's flea markets everywhere. There's even people, they've closed down some of the lanes of the streets to let bikers go through. There must be thousands of bikes on the streets today. So the people are really getting their exercise in, and it's just a lively city today. We're in Chorro de Cueto, and I hope that I pronounced that right, but I had a little bit of help from the locals to help me with that pronunciation. This is a neat little plaza area that we just simply stumbled across, and there's live music being played. There's a play over here, lots of restaurants, cafes, bars. This is just a bustling area, and it's a very cool area, and it sits higher up on the mountain of Bogota, overlooking the city. I'm at Cava, getting ready to have whatever this is. Oh, it's hot and fresh.
Whatever this is turned out to be buñuelo, which is a fried cheesy dough ball. Although they're known traditionally as a Christmas time treat, these balls are actually popular year-round. Many people have them as a morning treat with coffee. It's kind of a more savory alternative to the more American coffee and donut pairing. We've visited some great markets so far, and the city is full of amazing street food and creative vendors around every corner, but we've yet to hit one of the most popular squares in the city. Plaza Bolivar is one of Bogota's biggest activity hubs. In addition to being surrounded by some of the most important buildings in the city, the square is full of dancers, street performers, and musicians. The lively vibe of this area is extremely infectious, and it's not unusual to see people suddenly start dancing together. The square is a cultural destination full of art and history. One of the most impressive buildings here is the cathedral. The building has been rebuilt 4 times due to various foundation issues and natural disasters. The 4th time proved to be the charm, and the building that stands here has now been around since the early 1800s. It is the seat of the Archbishop of Bogota and the largest church by square footage in Colombia.
We've just rode the cable car to the top of Monserrate. And Monserrate is a tall mountain here in Bogota that dominates the city. You can see the entire city from up here. And to put it in perspective for you, it's 10,300 feet above sea level. That's over 3,100 meters. And Bogota itself is about 8,600 feet above sea level, so almost 2,000 feet more.
This mountain has been considered sacred since pre-Columbian times. The indigenous people held it in high regard because during the June solstice, the sun rises directly behind the mountain. It was for this reason that temples were first built here. When the Spanish conquered the area, the temples were replaced with a Catholic sanctuary. Even though we took the easy way up the mountain, some religious pilgrims still engage in the hike to the top rather than take the cable car. In fact, the church that stands there now was built with the help of people making this trek. After an earthquake damaged an earlier structure, a group of religious pilgrims, each carrying at least 1 brick, made the journey to help aid in this place's reconstruction. In addition to being a place of religious significance, the top of Monserrate is almost a village unto itself. The mountain hosts a variety of small shops and is a fantastic place to walk around or enjoy a meal at one of the amazing restaurants here. The mountain is open from dawn until dusk and is an ideal place to watch the sunset.
There are a few restaurants up here in Monserrate, and this one is San Isidro. Of course, the menu's in Spanish, so if you have Google Translate, there's this neat little feature that you can hit the little camera button and hold it over the menu, and it will translate and show you what the words are. It basically superimposes, it swaps out the words that are in Spanish with actually English words on your screen. So this is the cable car that got us up here to Monserrate, and so we're going to be riding this back down now.
Movies and television have given many people an unsavory image when it comes to visiting Colombia. And while it does have some areas that are more run down, just like any large city, the neighborhoods and places you'd most likely want to see here are very safe for travelers. The coffee, food, art, and architecture of this place are all top-notch, and the conversion rates make it a relatively inexpensive travel destination once you get here.